today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. We were just looking back at our thumbnails from the last video because I'm working really hard to try to replace them with decent shots of us now and then, because one of us is always looking terrible in our thumbnails for our video.
We have some real doozies. That's all I can say.
I know. So
thank you, YouTube.
if you were wondering why we were doing some like vapid smiling for a minute, that's
We're trying to get a screenshot. Oh my
easier to
gosh.
get if we just plan it. Anyways, welcome to our cross stitching channel. If you're new here, we're a mother-daughter team in Washington State. And sometimes my daughters join us, but today we have the stomach flu in our house. So one or two are napping right now. The other one hasn't gone down yet. So she's still healthy.
We'll give her a day.
I know
and she's your puker. She'll be puking for 2 days.
I know. And like she was so my oldest, Liddy, has the stomach flu right now. And she's in there laying there watching TV on my laptop, watching a show. And Millie's
excuse me,
the one who's healthy, and she's kind of jealous that she gets to lay in there and watch. So she's like kind of creeping in there, and I was like, get out of there. Do not get it, because you're gonna throw up nonstop for 24 hours if you get sick. She
yes.
Is. So poor thing. I mean, she's miserable. It's not like she's doing it on purpose.
I know.
That stomach that just doesn't.
Yep, I had one of those. It was terrible. I hated it when he got the flu.
So I'm praying that it bypasses her. But what are the odds? Yeah. Like, we'll see. Maybe.
I feel like stomach flus just tend to kind of go through.
Yeah.
But once in a while, I feel like when you guys were growing up, once in a while, we would get by with just one or two. There was only a couple times I remember all of us having it.
Yeah.
Like Dad and I and all of you.
Kind of staggers usually.
And I feel like the last time I remember, it was like every 12 hours, somebody else came down with it, like a clockwork. It was like 12 hours later. Yeah. And I was the last one to get it.
Yep.
And I remember knowing that I was going to get it. And I went to the grocery store to stock up on 7-Up and stuff. And I remember there was a bagel restaurant. I remember going to get a bagel for lunch. And I thought, well, this will probably be the last thing I eat for the next couple days. I better pick something that'll be pleasant coming back up again.
Gross. I know. Well, this morning I was cleaning. I made scrambled eggs. And what was the other thing that we ate? Scrambled eggs and muffins. Oh, blueberry muffins. And I made enough for everybody because at that point, Liddy hadn't come up and said she wasn't feeling good. Yeah, I was just putting away breakfast foods this morning, kind of cleaning up the kitchen, and thought, I don't usually save scrambled eggs. I usually give them to our chickens, and then they give us more eggs. But this time I put them in the fridge because I was like, somebody's going to be hungry and I might be in bed. So I can say, go get the leftover scrambled eggs if you're still hungry. I'm not throwing any food out right now because who knows where we're going to be in 12 hours.
That's right. It could be laid out.
It could be sick, and there's, yeah.
And I don't want to talk about food with you.
So I'll just say, scrounge what's in the fridge.
Go scavenge, girls. Go scavenge.
Also, it's hard to throw away eggs right now when I think about how expensive they are, even if they're from our chickens.
Speaking of that, I was going to buy some brown organic eggs, which I didn't used to buy, but after Christmas, when I got those really good eggs, I'm kind of spoiled. They were like $8 a dozen. I'm like, no, I'll get brown eggs, but they're not going to be the fancy organic free range eggs.
I know, that's what we're getting right now. We're getting a lot of eggs again. And we just got some new chicks this week. So the girls will be able to start selling eggs again, and they'll have a little bit of meat that way. And yeah,
that really picked up fast.
It did, because we got like hardly any eggs through December, January. We got like one.
And you're down chickens too.
Yeah, so we're getting probably 6 a day or something, and we aren't eating scrambled eggs every day, but we'll be back to eating more again.
Yeah,
after we have more. But yeah, that's nice. It's a really nice thing to have chickens. And we just bought 8 more chicks, and some of them probably start laying in August. And
chicks again.
We got chicks again. Yeah, the girls got some chicks, so we got chicks to replenish all the ones that the stray dog killed.
Did you get fancy ones or just your generic chicken?
Well, we got some that are called dominant copper, and they're going to be, I think, my favorite eggs. They lay really dark chocolate brown eggs, like really dark. And they're crossbreed with copper Morans, and those are ones I've wanted to get my hands on for a long time, but they're kind of hard to find if you don't just order them from a hatchery. And I've had bad luck ordering from hatcheries. So these ones are maybe I'm not sure if they're a newer crossbreed or what, but
Okay.
we got some of those and some called Novagen. They're just little brown egg layers. And then picked out another one. I can't remember what the other one is.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chicken time. It's chicken time.
Get a couple more later, but we got 8 to start with.
Chicken.
Whoops, when the girls lost all their chickens, I said, I will buy you new chicks when they come in.
How much do you pay per chick?
They're about $5 per chick.
That's not
too bad.
cheap.
And then chick feed, but
yeah,
we're already all set up for everything.
we didn't say where we're at, did we?
I did. I said we were in Washington State.
Oh, okay.
We got interrupted by a phone call because Grandpa has COVID and
My dad has COVID.
His partner has COVID too. And there was kind of
There's kind of some drama going on, 80-year-old with COVID. I mean, my dad's fine. He had a pretty mild case, but his partner's a little sicker and he's lost. He doesn't know what to do.
But he can't make somebody all better.
He's a fixer. He wants to fix it. And because he had such mild symptoms, he doesn't understand why she's not progressing faster. And
even though he's lived in fear and watching the symptom of COVID for 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he doesn't keep up with the news on COVID. And so he's calling me several times a day, trying to
figure out how to fix it, basically.
How to fix it. And I won't give him medical advice for somebody that's not my own mother. And so I keep telling him her daughters need to step up. And apparently they did finally. And I think they probably were in contact with her, but she's just, I think she's dehydrated.
His perception of it was that.
Yeah, he's not a good reporter.
Yeah.
What's funny about him is that it has been a long-standing issue between when my mom was alive and him and me, that I didn't call them enough, that I didn't call enough. That was a point of contention for all of the years I was raising my kids, especially the later years when my teenagers were busy and we were busy and I was working. I didn't call them enough. So he now has mentioned several times to me, many times actually, how much Irene, his partner's daughters, call her every day.
She has 5 of them or something.
Yeah, she has 5 of them. Now, keep in mind, I have one, it's me and my sister who doesn't call him. So I don't call enough. And he'll tell me that, her phone's ringing all the time. Well, what I think also is her own sister is in a memory care place and she calls her 5 times a day because she's bored out of her gourd.
Oh.
But anyway, so I said, well, Dad, I call you as often as I can. And, I know that you're just doing life and you guys are happy. And then today he's like, well, I don't know. Her daughters haven't called in. They're not calling and checking on her. And I'm like,
yeah, what?
No, which story to believe.
Pretty sure they are.
They seem pretty involved in her life in general, and they're a very close-knit family. They have birthday parties, which is where this little super spreader event happened, was last weekend at my dad's birthday party. One of her granddaughters came sick. So anyway.
Yeah.
Pray for me, guys, because taking care of this man is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot right now. And I told him that. I said to him, Dad, I can't take care of Irene. You're a full-time job for me. And I didn't say full-time. I said, I have my hands full taking care of you, Dad. He kind of laughed, but I think he thought I was joking, but really I'm not.
You were being serious.
Yeah, I know. Sarah and I were just when we paused the video, then we were chatting after my phone call. And I know that something's gonna come to a head. Either they're gonna coerce her to move out of his home into a retirement place down here where I live. I live very far south of where they live, probably in a 45-minute drive on the freeway on a good day, an hour and 15-minute drive if I go the back roads. So, and her family is mostly down where I live too. So I think they're going to put pressure on her to either move down here. And what that will look like for him, I don't know. Either he will agree to do the same or he will have to move in with me because I will not let him live in that house alone.
Yeah.
He just isn't able. He's just so anxious about everything. He's afraid of forgetting, I think, everything. It goes along with diagnosis. And so I think there's going to be some stuff coming down the pike that will be difficult and have to navigate. And anyway, life, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
But
But anyway,
well. My dad.
My husband's knee is doing great. He wishes it was better. He wishes he was already at that 8-week mark, but he's at 5 weeks.
Getting closer.
And we had a different physical therapist this last week who we had 6 years ago, and she remembered us.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, and I really liked her. She's pretty honest and pretty. She worked him hard 6 years ago. She was a little gentler this time around, but she just said, "You are doing great for 5 weeks out." She said, "I know." She goes, "I have people that are at their 8-week mark and they're not doing what you're doing."
Wow.
He's like, "I can't imagine that." She goes, "Yeah, I know." So over and over, she told him how good he was doing. But I think he just wants to. I think the biggest thing is it's kind of achy still off and on. But when he sits or stands too long, either one, it just stiffens up. And then those first couple steps are just kind of a stagger. And I think he just wants that to be gone. But he's doing really good. I think he's,
if you're watching for the first time or haven't watched for a while, he had knee replacement surgery at the beginning of February. I just realized
and it's his second one. He had his other knee done 6 years ago, but this one has been easier. That one had some other complications. But what was interesting is that his muscle, his strength in that leg is taking longer than the last time around to come around, like doing certain stepping exercises. So like they have him stepping. How do they have him? He's on like a step thing, like what I've got over there, something like
exercise
that thing. Yeah. Physical therapy. And he has to step up on it. And then with his good leg, the one that he's had done before, a step down on the other side and then step back up. And that stepping back up, putting all that weight on the new knee
from a different angle.
It's getting better. But the first day that he had him do that, he couldn't do it. He could not do anything without holding onto the parallel bars. And I don't remember that being an issue last time around, but he's also 6 years older. Yeah. So I think that kind of bothered him that he didn't, but it's just a matter of waking up that quad in that leg. Yeah. So, but that's gotten better. So I think he's doing good. He's doing well. He's good. He's not, doing home improvement jobs or going out shopping, but no. But when they say 6 to 8 weeks, I think, for somebody his age, I think a full 8 week or more. Some people take longer.
Yeah. So yeah. There's no one size fits all.
It's a pretty brutal surgery. I talked to a coworker who does pediatric physical therapy at my center, and she said, "Oh, I had to do a rotation in the hospital when I was in school to get my degree, and I had to watch a total knee replacement being done." And she said, "That's why I don't do orthopedics."
Oh my gosh. Yikes.
Yeah, she said it was too much for her. And she I don't think she had it in her to inflict pain on somebody during the recovery, because physical therapy, it is painful. But the physical therapists that he's had love replacements because they know exactly what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
And they know that if you do what they tell you to do, you're going to be fine in 6 to 8 weeks. Whereas somebody with chronic shoulder pain or bulging discs or whatever, it's a little harder. So I think he's their star pupil.
He would be. He would be.
He's our little overachiever.
Well, we do talk about cross stitch too.
And knitting. You're both wearing knitwear today.
Knitting. Oh yeah, this is an old one, and I have a previous finish too. So it kind of matches your scarf.
It does. So
with your scarf.
Previous finish.
Shawl. So I have this old. I stitched this a few years ago. It's a Lizzie Kate, and I knit this several years ago. Can't remember what the pattern is, but I'm pretty sure it's Helen Stewart.
I don't know what the pattern is to this one either, but I remember stitching it on a road trip when we were in Minnesota in 2019.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty. I like the color in that.
I know I wouldn't normally pick this color, but I knew it would look pretty with black, and I wear a lot of black tops. And it's lightweight.
Yeah, it does look good with your black.
And oftentimes, I think you're the same way. If I'm a little chilly, just put something on my neck helps me warm up.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, sometimes I get too warm and I have to take it off. This pattern is so nice too.
Thick one.
Have you stitched these before where she does kind of here, I should just show you. She has, it's like graduated. So your neck is not super bulky in the back. But you get that bulk, which I like, kind of around my chin, but I don't like that bulk up with my hair.
Around your neck,
She designs most of her cowls like that. I'm pretty sure it's Helen Stewart, but I have to look back who this was.
I
But
don't know. Yeah.
I kind of feel like it might be
Helen
Stark.
Stewart does the Land of Sweets cowl that I
No, and maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. I'll find it and put it in the show notes if you're interested. Maybe nobody is, but
I don't know.
knit a couple by her. I feel like did Helen Stewart do Sugared Violets, that one? I think it's the same designer who did this, whoever that is. I'll look it up later.
I don't remember. Yeah, it sounds like something she would have done, but
I'll look it up and I'll put it in the show notes. Anyways.
But here we are. It's what is it? The middle of March. We have an extra hour of daylight to watch the rain. I told Sarah, I'm so glad we have an extra hour to watch it rain every afternoon. And we're wearing knitwear scarves.
Is it chilly?
It's damp here. It's chilly where she is and just damp and chilly here.
Yeah, it's really gray, really like low clouds all around the horizon.
And all my Midwest kids are getting snow again. So if you're in the Midwest you're probably getting snow. We are not.
Or if you're in California, you may be experiencing
flooding. I don't want to hear one word this summer about California's drought. I don't want to hear about a drought. No more drought. You guys have gotten all the rain and snow that we should have been getting.
Get your rain barrels out.
Store that rain.
Store your rain for drinking water this summer. No, don't do that. That's not a healthy idea. I have a finish.
Oh, yes. She told me she had a finish and I couldn't think of what she'd been working on.
This is Summer Etching by Cecilia Turner, Heart and Hand.
You were close. I should have known that was it.
Yeah, I know. I was surprised you didn't think of it, but I haven't worked on it for a week or two. So I was so close. I just had this much to do, like this little border down there and the tail. So I finished that last night. And I think I'm just going to get a little frame.
Yeah.
Put it in a little wooden frame. I think that would look really cute. This is the original. I changed the colors around from what she called for.
Yeah.
Love it. I love how it came out. I'm excited.
So cute. Are you going to do our flower etchings next?
Now I want to do the floral etching. I'll have to get that one eventually. Jessie said it looks like something you might see in the catacombs in Rome or something. It looks like early Christian art. I was like, yeah, they did do a lot of art, kind of like geometric design kinds of art, which I hadn't even thought of. I just liked it.
It is cute.
This week, and I still have fabric left, so maybe I'll do the summer etching on this same time.
You might be able to.
I could just
my finish from last week is still hanging up back there.
There it is.
My Four Season girls. I just can't put them away because I walk by and I stare at them every once in a while.
I like that.
The towel hanging down below it is really attractive too.
Oh, is that what's behind it?
Yeah, I had a towel backing it.
Well, what did you work on this week?
What did I work on? Well. Okay, so as a preface, I decided it was time to take down the winter decorations this weekend and embrace the spring out my window. That's coming in a couple weeks. So I kind of, you're right. We've talked about this. I'm definitely a seasonal stitcher. And all of a sudden, even though I hate spring, I really wanted to work on some spring pieces. But first, one of my goals, I have all 4 of the Rosewood Manor Quakers. And so I was going to work on each one for 3 months each season. Right. So now that we're entering the season of spring, I started. Did I show this last week? Had I started it yet? I don't know if I'd started it yet. I started spring Quakers. I think I had just talked about it, but I don't think I had done it before we recorded. Maybe I did, but this is it. If you're new to stitching, spring Quakers. I'm starting.
I think you might have showed it, but now I'm not sure if I'm just blending in winter Quakers in my mind.
Well, the colors on her photograph are much deeper than what they are when you stitch it. Like this.
Interesting.
This green, well, it's Valdani, so maybe it depends on what your dye level, but this green around here is not as dark on mine.
Oh.
But I did finish this whole motif. I think I might have shown part of it, and then I finished it last night.
Nice.
So I did a lot of the fill-in around here, and there was some extra stitches around there, but there it is. So now I'm ready to start the second one.
Yay.
Yeah. There's some big ones, like
ooh, yeah, a huge one that's so elaborate. Yeah, those are really big.
Well, and you have to really watch your counting because it's symmetric. Everything's very symmetrical, so you don't want to get off.
Yeah.
I do like it. I do like this one actually better than I thought it was. I was going to originally when I started looking at the Quakers, but I do like it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the colors. So that got worked on. I did work on part of my magazine monthly plans. So that was part of my magazine monthly, but I'm supposed to work on those 8 hours a month. So 2 hours every weekend, basically.
Mm-hmm.
8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah. And so that was my S for Etsy on our magazine monthly challenge across it. The other thing I worked on was Trick or Treat Fairy by Mirabilia, which was a pattern that I longed for.
Yeah.
But man alive, is there a lot of beading? Like, I think all of this is beads.
Yes.
A lot of this is beads, and there's some Krennic.
Yeah.
But I'm marching along with her. I didn't do a ton on her from last week, but I did do a little bit.
Pretty.
Can't see her skin very well, but it's there.
It's there.
But
Yeah.
I work down here now. I'm at the part. I had printed the pattern and I printed it in 2 halves. So the top half, other than the moon and the beading,
is pretty much done.
yeah. So I think I'm kind of right
Progress on that,
here.
really.
Huh?
You're making pretty quick progress on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, there's a bunch of Krennic that I didn't do. I need to do kind of along. I think there's some Krennic in here. Maybe it's beads. I can't remember, but a lot of this is there's a lot of garland with Krennic and beads.
Yes.
That's going to be the bugaboo about this piece is all the finishing.
Yeah.
Stuff, but it's going to be so pretty. I know I'm going to love her.
Yeah, that is really pretty.
She's not disappointing.
Mm-mm.
And then I worked on Jardin Privé Patchwork Ate. That's for the E in Etsy. And this is the piece. If you're new, Sarah stitched it a couple years ago and passed it on, and I am right here. What I did. I didn't do a ton, but I did some of the back stitching. Get ready. So I did that and I did that flower.
Pretty. I loved those hay bales too.
Yeah.
Swirly pattern, just really.
I realized I have a little bit of, I missed a row of brown right down here.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway, that's a cute little piece to work on. Not a ton of color, so you're not doing a ton of color changes. Then I worked on, I spun my wheel because I don't want to just work on the magazine monthly pieces. I also have a wheel. So Valentine Fairy came up a couple times, but I only worked on her once. I worked on Thanksgiving or Trick or Treat more. Is it going to focus? Please focus. You get the gist. I haven't done a ton on her, but I did fill in her. I did do her face. I filled in more of her hair. It doesn't look like much. You know, they called for her skin to be this Bella Rosa, but I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a green in here. You can't see it very well.
So you just really would need to watch which thread. So
I didn't do it. I just took the DMC out of Trick or Treat Fairy and used it for her skin. I thought, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a greeny, it's got pink and then kind of a greenish gray and then some cream. I thought, why would that be? Yeah, you'd have to really manage your floss to do that for skin. So, the other one was sitting right there. It was handy.
Yeah.
2 more things. I brought out my Pine Mountain Designs, my calendar yearly piece, which is the March square, which is super cute. Lion and a lamb and kites.
That is a cute one.
And I doesn't show up great on this fabric, but I did do the whole kite.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. So I still haven't finished February, but I'll go back and work on that if I can get. So I was looking at, there's a lot of stitching on that lion. It's not bad though.
No.
Once you get going on it. And the lamb.
Yeah. It's cute.
They're not huge.
Nah.
So I worked on that, and then I'll get some more of that. I have not worked on my Whip Go for the month, which I need to get cracking on. And the last piece was another spring piece that I pulled out I pulled out several that I put on my wheel from last year, but this one was one, it was a Doreen Jones. It was a free SAL called Garden and Bees. I don't know my picture of it. I have a picture, a partial picture of it. I didn't print. Let's see if I can find it.
This is one that's a freebie on her Facebook with different sections.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky to find. It's on her actual design page. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's cute.
There we go. So I had started right here last year and I had stopped working on it. So I finished up that first block. So the other night I got it out and I finished this and these they're not really eyelets, but they're just kind of backstitch.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
then
cool.
I did the bees and I did the back stitching here and I finished this border. And then I did this border last night coming across. And so the next piece that I'm going to do is, come on, is this square.
The hair horizontal one. Oh, that's pretty too.
Yeah, it's just a vine.
Oh.
And I just have a very tiny start on it. I started it before we recorded. Right there. But I love it. It's really colorful. It's really pretty. You have to go to her. Sorry, my nose itches. She has a Facebook group that you can comment on, and then she's got Doreen Jones Designs. One of them is just her. Right. And then you go to photos. But then you have, they're not really files you can download. You have to print the photo. So they're kind of tricky. Although I didn't have trouble this time, but when I printed the first square, I just printed each clue out separately. Well, they came out super big. Like I had to print it in 2 pieces.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but when I went to print them out the other night, the next couple, they came out normal size.
Oh.
So, yeah, I don't know what the deal is, but.
Oh yeah, that's way easier.
Yeah. So that is pretty much it.
Nice. For
my stitching, but it was quite a bit. Considering I did not stitch every night. I did take a night off. My eyes were super tired. And it was interesting because Melanie Watkins from the Soulful Stitcher, she posted, did you see her post on Facebook? She kind of lost her mojo, which I wanted to say, well, then you should be doing 25/7. That was your whole goal.
Yeah.
But I think it was kind of people say, well, don't worry about, it'll come back, just do something different for a while. And I thought, and I commented and said, when that happens, I just bring out my knitting, my other craft that I like to do if I don't feel like cross stitching. And so then I started thinking about it. I thought, I don't have to cross stitch every single night. I guess I feel like we have dinner, we sit around, we watch TV, we go to bed. And so I just cross stitch, but I could just not have to do it every single night. Yeah. And maybe I feel like I have to because we Flosstube. I'm not sure when that started that I felt like I had to every night. Do you feel like you have to every night?
I feel like I want to every night.
Well, so I usually want to, but sometimes I have a hard time getting going. Like I think after working, I just kind of zone out for a little bit.
I don't feel like I have to. Because I know like if I miss a night, I still have other nights that I'll have stuff that I can show. And if we didn't record one week because we didn't really have much stitch.
Well, I think I just subconsciously had brought that on. And I think sometimes I just don't feel like starting to pick. I don't feel like dragging something out. But once I do, then I really get into it. It's not like I've lost my love of it at all.
No, I think about it this way. I think about it like I'm driving home from town after ballet. Oh, soon I'll be able to sit down on the couch and cross stitch. So that's what my cross.
I do think that sometimes when I'm at work, I think, oh, it'll be nice to be off work and get dinner out of the way and just sit and cry. I mean, I do, but sometimes I've just kind of felt like I don't want to. But then, like I said, I bring it out. I pick out a project or whatever, and I start it, and then I'm totally into the zone. But yeah. So what have you been working on?
Well, I have been working on several things. One of them is my March piece, which is
cute little bird.
Signs of Spring. And here is where I am at. Oh, I was working on it right before we started recording, so my needle is, hang on, it's like poking out funny. Here we go. There's my robin.
Oh, wow. You got a lot done on him.
Yes, I have.
Oh, he's cute.
Yeah, I think I need to go back and do the eye because I think I need to fill in the eye. It's looking kind of creepy to me.
That's how I feel about some of my Mirabilias that
I know, they look so weird.
Yeah, they look weird. Their faces look weird until you get the back stitching done.
Yeah, right. Some people I think just do the back stitching ahead.
Even though I might do their head.
I have also been working on my Haid a little bit, which is Tiny Traveler by Annie Stagg. And I have finished that column that I've been kind of slowly working down. Well, not slowly, but it feels slow because there's so much.
Yeah.
So I finished this square, actually probably 2 squares this week.
Looking good.
Go up.
Wow.
Huh. I think there's maybe 3 more columns in the first page, 1 to 3. I don't remember now.
Wow, making good progress.
I know. I meant to look at my pattern keeper to see what percent I'm at because I like really want to get to 1% of the project. I was close. I was like 0.9 something the other night, and then
yeah, you're close.
I finished that fish. That was another thing, but that was just a few minutes. One of my magazine monthly goals for this month is to finish the roof on this house.
Oh yeah, that big roof.
So I've been working on that.
Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Oh wow, that's a lot though.
I know. I did. I don't know, at least an inch probably. Sorry, that's. Yeah. So I will probably get that done for sure.
So I have a question. If you pick that out to work on, do you work on that the whole evening that you're working on it, or do you switch projects around?
It depends on what I feel like.
Uh-huh.
When I was doing, what night was I doing? I'm trying to remember. There was something that I think this one, I did work on like the robin or something after a while because I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm tired of doing gray back and forth.
Yeah.
But usually we're like watching something. And so I'm not even, it doesn't have to be exciting stitching for me to be like happy I'm doing it because I'm also just watching TV.
Yeah.
So, no, I'll usually work on what I've been doing is pulling out like whatever my goal is. What was it that I was doing? Oh, okay. So here's an example. I pulled this one out. This one is boring stitching, but it's so cute that I can't wait to have it done. It's Patio Hair from Lizzie Kate. And those pants are so boring.
Oh yeah.
So boring. So I think I had a goal of a certain hour amount. And I only have a half hour left to meet that goal. So I was thinking maybe I should just pick whatever my magazine monthly goal is and set a timer and just work on that piece until the timer is done.
Yeah.
But I got too bored. I got too bored.
What was your goal? What was your timer set for?
3 or 4 hours or something. So I mean, I was like
doing evening.
No, like over a span of evenings. I have my multi-timer thing going. So I was like, maybe I'll just every time I stitch, I'll just pick up that piece and work on it till that timer runs out, and then I'll just go on to the next piece and then I got too bored. So I ended up not doing that after all.
He's coming along.
I know. I think I ran out of this blue color, so I need to go get some more.
Oh. So yeah, but that would be boring.
That's why I started doing the longer rows of the stripe. But anyway, I do have his partner done as well.
Oh, and she got all of her accoutrements on it.
And I will eventually take these off.
Can you pause it just 1 second? Sorry.
I will eventually remove these, and I'm going to do a stand-up of these. I'll follow probably Ivana Pfeiffer tutorial or something.
And then add them back on there again?
And then add them back on after. I just don't think I can sew.
Probably not. Yeah, I'd take them off. If you're going to sew, yeah.
But I didn't know how I was going to finish it.
And they're going to be...
I didn't think I would do a stand-up, but then I got braver and decided I would.
Oh, you could totally do it. Totally do it. Did I give you... I didn't give you the Lizzie Kate little witch, did I? I have that kit still.
No, you did give it to me. I have it tucked away.
I did.
You can have it back if you want. I think you just decided you didn't want it. You can have it back. I don't know where it is, but I think I have it somewhere. Unless you
might want it back someday. I don't need it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
let's see, what else did I do? Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, two more things. So I did work on my bookshelf piece, and I decided instead of Wuthering Heights, I think I'm going to put Jane Eyre down there. I hated Wuthering Heights, but Jane Eyre is one of my very favorite books.
Okay, yeah, put Jane Eyre there. You don't want a bad memory attached to it.
I really hated Wuthering Heights. I did not enjoy it. I listened to it, and I was like, oh, surely I'm going to end up. I mean, I just did not like. I'm going to put
I
Jane
didn't like it either.
By her sister. But everything I stitched this week, I have to pull out.
Oh no.
I didn't do that much. Actually, not everything, because I did do these gold, this here. But these words are off center. I counted down from here instead of from here.
Oh.
I have enough room to write Wilder over here, but I do want Wilder on there because I love the Little House books too.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal. I mean, that's not that much stitching.
It's not that much, but it's always frustrating.
I'd rather pull that out than the gold, because that's a lot less fun to stitch with.
I've seen some people recently. Who was I just listening to? Oh, Gail's Golden Needle. Gail. She's doing a Mirabilia, and she was having trouble with her Krennic. Is that what you're using as Krennic?
No, I'm using like a DMC.
Oh, that one. I have such a hard time threading
Really
that
splitty.
Yeah. But the Mirabilia is called for Krennic, but people were telling her try treasure braid. Petite treasure braid. So I was like, I wonder if I should look into that. But then I thought, how do you match the colors? Do you have to go in person? I mean, I don't think, is there a conversion between Krennic and petite treasure braid? If anybody knows, please leave me a comment, because I've got, as you know, several Mirabilias going on right now that have lots of Krennic in them.
Yes, you do.
Lots and lots of Krennic.
Yeah, I've never really done.
And I also noticed that the gold, which is what she was having a hard time with, and that's what I've used most lately in a couple of projects, is that the pattern will say to use 2 strands, but it's too bulky. I've gone down to just using one of the Krennics. And it seems to be the gold that gives me the most trouble. But the red, actually, that little angel I did at Christmas time, she had a lot of red in her red Krennic. I feel like I probably should have done one. I might have gone down to 1 thread on that too, but
yeah.
I wonder if petite treasure braid is less bulky. Does that pattern that you're using call for the DMC gold?
No. What is it called? No, I think I just got that.
Is it on a spool?
Yeah, here, I'll show you what it is. I'm using this, the Diamant.
Oh yes, it's so splitty.
It's super splitty. Oh, you can't see the.
I can see it. Oh yeah, it's showing up.
E3821.
Okay.
This called for 5282. And I couldn't find that on at my Hobby Lobby, and I thought, if I like this gold, it doesn't really make a difference what the tint of it is to me.
What was it?
5282 is what it called for, and I'm using D3821. I don't really know what the differences are there.
Oh, okay.
It's not too bad. If I really just make sure the ends are trimmed and I'm not using a really small eye on my needle.
The one it calls for is a skein.
It's a skein.
Yeah, it's not on the spool.
I have another one of those somewhere. I wonder what that one is.
Anyway.
Whatever I was supposed to get, I just couldn't find it in the store, and I didn't want to order one when I was like, this is fine. Right. And it's fine. There's not a ton of it in that pattern. I think it's pretty much just all on the book. I might even be done with it now.
Yeah. Are you?
I think it's just on the back of the spines of the books.
Yeah.
And I'm done with those now. So actually I probably don't have to do that anymore.
Pretty.
I started it.
Oh.
Shepherd's Bush needle roll that I bought last time I was with you. Well, not last time, because last time I was with you, we were doing surgery. But it must have been the time before.
At Christmas time, when you came for Christmas. And we went shopping. He's so jolly.
Snowman done, except for his arms are back stitched, and I don't have those. Done.
Hold up the picture again.
So I think it's 3 little snowmen that you can't see, but they're side by side.
Okay, is your fabric purple like that? Because it came out really gray.
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's better.
I think it's true to the color. It's
when you first held it up, it had a blue-gray look to it when you had it close. Yeah. Cute.
Yeah, it is. I think it's because my ring light is probably lighting it up weird.
Yeah.
I know. I thought that was cute. I love those little shepherd's bush patterns. They go so fast.
And
And
they're really not that badly priced, for a little treat. They have bigger ones, obviously, bigger
$16, and
kits.
it comes with the beads, the threads, everything.
Yeah, everything.
I know. The pattern itself, okay, so you can't really see in the picture, but there's 3 little snowmen next to each other. So there's one on either side I started in the middle. And then the word snowfall, and then some backstitched snowmen or snowflakes, and then mittens that go around the bottom.
Cute.
Sets of mittens. And then we've got some Smyrna cross stitches.
Always.
Hang on, where are those? I don't understand.
The thing that always freaks me out about those now, and they didn't used to bother me, but I don't know how to do, is the hem stitch
Oh.
at the ends when you go to assemble them.
Oh, that's not too hard. I've done that a few times on YouTube.
And I know I've done it. Like, I've done a ton of those needle rolls back in the day, but
Yeah,
I don't remember how I did it. So I have to, I guess, Google it.
It's not that hard. Okay, yeah, so the Smyrna crosses are at the top. They're that checkered border.
Oh, sure.
So rather than doing 4 stitches, you're using a Smyrna cross over those 4. And what are the other stitches? A medallion stitch. Those are, sorry, I just haven't really looked that closely. Oh, they're the ones above the mittens there. The little white snowflake. Those are medallion stitches.
Oh, sure. I've not heard of that stitch.
And then step 3, we've got, where is that? Blue, 3-sided blue. Oh, that's this little blue border down at the bottom there.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't think I've ever done that. And then there's the lace and the beads. The hem stitch is on here, the finishing instructions, but I will probably Google.
Yeah, but again, I need to look. I need to see
it
it being done.
Much better.
What do you just do? Like just Google hem stitch or hem stitch for cross stitch or?
Yeah, I probably, yeah. Or let's see, maybe I didn't even use YouTube. Maybe I just did it from the directions here. They're pretty, I don't know, I probably shouldn't show the pattern, but I think this little tiny diagram is going to be a problem. They have a pretty decent diagram with really detailed directions on how to do the hem stitch. So I might have just done it from the pattern before.
Do you do the stitch and then pull threads out? Or are you just pulling them together?
I think you're just pulling them.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you do withdraw 3 threads.
Yeah.
The ribbon
like
goes.
I'm looking at
it. You do that for the ribbon row where you thread your ribbon, but then the actual hem stitching, you don't.
Okay.
You just fold it over, and there's kind of a fancy.
Anna Pfeiffer, do you have a video tutorial for the hem stitch?
No, I wouldn't be surprised if she did have a little tutorial.
Yeah.
It's everything I worked on this week. I did do a little knitting, but I didn't bring it in. I'm very close to finishing the body. I have maybe another 2 rows of.
Not the ribbing though, just the body.
Yes, the it's not. It's just a stockinette hem. Oh. So or not stockinette, garter hem for like almost 2 inches, and I've probably got almost an inch.
I brought my knitting in too, but I don't think I really knit enough to show.
Yeah, I mean, mine was just when I have it done. When I have that hem done,
I have been knitting at PT. I've been going with Dad to PT appointments because then we go out to lunch together, and it's a nice break. He can drive himself, but but I knit during it, and I've been working on that sock head hat. I think I've shown that before. It's got a 4-inch rib brim that goes on and on. It's a 2x2 rib for 4 inches. And I thought, and I'm doing it in black, fingering weight. And I thought, oh, I must be getting close to 4. And I measured it the other day.
2.
3. I'm just at 3. Clearly, I have no concept of 3 inches and 4.
1 last inch to go now.
I know. And then I get to bring on the colored yarn. That'll give it more.
Oh yeah. So you just have that.
So yeah, if you've not heard of it, there is a pattern on Ravelry called Sock Head Hat. And it's a free one. I think there's some that are not free. It's just a wide brim that you can fold up and then a very slouchy, which I don't like tight hats because I have weird hair. But this is nice and slouchy and it comes down over your ears. And I bought a gray, very dark gray, black coat. I haven't bought a new coat in years. a casual coat. I have a dress coat, and I bought it. Finally came a month ago. What's she doing?
I don't know if she's
Opal,
Opal.
Opal. What's she doing, Opal?
Oh, I just wanted
You
to
know
look
your
at
name?
the camera, but now she came over for attention.
Oh,
She likes to look out my window in my bedroom, my
yeah.
next door.
Yes, you can see a lot of pie. Anyway, so I bought it at color that most of my knitwear will go with. Like it's a nice dark color. And so, but I thought, oh, I need a good hat because it has a hood. But
Yeah.
you know, what I have found with hoods is they always come way down over your eyes and you can't see.
Good coats have a little adjustable thing.
Huh?
Good coats have a little adjustable thing. Does yours have an adjustable thing?
I don't think so.
You adjust mine does. Mine has a way to like basically shorten the.
Oh, well, it was a good coat, just not good enough, I
Just
guess.
didn't have that, huh?
I
Oh,
paid a pretty penny for
too
it.
bad. You're missing a
I
good.
mean, if I was desperate, I would use it, but
Nice.
sometimes I just want a hat, and I don't have I haven't knit myself a lot of hats. I've knit some that were more beanie type, and they're not comfortable to me. So, but this, you just stock a net forever, though. You can just make it as slouchy as you want. But
Cute.
I'm getting tired of that black yarn.
Yeah, I bet. Do you have any haul this week?
I have one haul. It was my historical sampler
Sampler
company box came yesterday. It took forever, sorry. And it is a cute one. Cotton and twine. This is my February one. I don't think I got the January. I had a problem with my payment because I got a new bank card.
Oh.
And that's Liberty of London fabric. So
Uh-huh.
they give you the fabric.
That's
It's
beautiful.
on a canvas.
Oh, I love that.
And then there's a piece. It must go. I haven't read the directions. There's like this weirdy little piece. I'm not sure where that plays into it. See if it says. You guys, this is like a sight for sore eyes. Look how big this pattern is.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know what this has to do with the finishing. Maybe mount it on that.
Oh, maybe.
There is a piece of cardboard.
For hanging the canvas on.
Maybe. Let's see what's in here. There is this. So it must have to do with mounting it on that canvas. But here's the colors.
Pretty.
And they sent the little freebie extra. There's always and then the Ada. There's always a thing of tea, and there's always a thing of candy. These are called Candy Kittens. Eaten Mess, Gourmet Sweets of London.
Oh, fun.
And then there's a little tiny, it's not really a charm, it's not really a button, but it just says, home is where your heart is.
Oh, cute.
Because that's the theme.
That's cute.
Anyway, that was a treat. I'd been waiting and waiting for it I had gotten this thing that was shipped, and sometimes it comes really fast, and this time it didn't, but you know, who knows.
Can you hear Gideon barking?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I don't know.
He just started though. I haven't heard him all.
Yeah, he did just start. There's probably somebody, maybe one of the kids is walking down to play or something.
But if you're looking for a subscription box, this is really, I really like this one. They do a really nice job packaging. It always comes in these nice boxes with this tissue paper that has adhesive to it. It's just always nicely packaged. A little treat, a little extra goodie. And I mean, you know, it's really sticky box. Something stuck to my box. Oops. But I think it's 35 pounds. I don't know I can't remember what I paid for dollars, but I feel like it's a pretty darn good deal. If you're looking for a subscription, and it comes with everything you need to finish it.
Yeah.
Which I always have appreciated that. So that's my only haul.
I don't have any haul. But
I do.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I was watching I told you I was watching Gail's Golden Needle, and she's starting with her friend Amy, Rosewood Manor Did you watch that Seasons of the?
Yes, I can't remember now which one it is.
It's a Rosewood Manor tree one. And,
Yeah.
and she's taking out a saying and putting in her family tree. I thought, oh, I wonder if I have that one, but that's not the one I have.
Oh,
I have Seasons of the Trees. I was going to
yeah.
join you, Gail.
That
I
is
thought about joining you, but then I looked at the stitch count on this little baby. It's 250 by 150.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait a little while. I don't need another big one.
That's a lot. You know what I'm waiting for you to finish is gathering eggs. You didn't finish it yet, right?
Not even on any of my rotations.
You need to get that one out.
I put her in timeout. I don't know why.
Mirabilia, you got to finish your first Nora carpet.
My ring around the rose tree?
No, gathering eggs.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I do need to finish. Yeah, I do. Here, I'll add her to my Tiny Decisions app right now.
Good. You need to work on that because I don't know. I haven't ever fully finished mine yet, but I was just thinking about the fact that that's one I really want to fully finish for this spring.
And yeah, I think I finally gotten, well, I'm at the point where I have to do her ruffle along her. Once I get that done, then it's just lots of blocks, right? The ground, the tree, the flowers. I think just getting her dress done has been.
Yeah,
I should. That's a springy piece.
Yes, it is.
Putting her on my. I have it split up by days.
What are your other plans?
My other plan, this is my Thursday, Friday, Saturday spin. Well, so she's got a chance to make it. Okay. The other plan I have was I was thinking about starting for spring when we were at the store and you bought that cute little shepherd's bush snowman. I think I bought this one then. Maybe I didn't. I bought a needle roll called Tiny Garden. And this is it.
Oh, that's right. I like that one too.
And I was thinking about starting that this weekend, maybe tonight.
To swap patterns when we're done.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually have a couple of old needle roll patterns that you've given me with probably some of the leftover threads.
Yeah, and you probably could order.
Oh, easily.
This one uses Weeks and DMC.
Yeah.
Some of their patterns use their version of Belsois silks, or I don't know if it's Belsois, if it's I don't know, but those would be a little more expensive to replace, but yeah, definitely. And this one again comes with, there's a piece of rickrack. This is the ribbon.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I remember that one in the store, the ribbon.
Yeah. And here's
I was kind of trying to get Millie to buy that one, but she was, I think, intimidated. Which, yeah, probably could. Probably should. She probably was right to be a little intimidated.
Yeah,
they have some fancy stitches as mine.
They do have and this one has not as many, I don't think, as yours does.
Yeah,
I only have one page of directions, so that shows me it's not. It has some beads, some back stitch. It's got that satin stitch, which I hate satin stitch.
Oh.
I have the satin stitch.
Where? Isn't satin stitch the one where you're just doing a long stitch over and over kind of?
It's graduated. It's like short, longer, short. It gets it's like a scallop. I'm not sure where it's step 3. It is step 1. Where's step 1? Oh, the satin stitch. Oh, it's the grass. You're not gonna be able to see it very well. It's the grass in here.
Oh, underneath the flower.
Yeah. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lengths. Okay, then I have then the rickrack border. Place your rickrack across the row, now using one strand of moss. Stitch the stem and leaves over the rickrack. So you're stitching over the rickrack. I've done that once before on one of hers. And then there's a fishbone stitch. So it's not too bad. And then the hem stitch. Yeah. I'll do it. It's not for very long. I mean, it's a tiny pattern, so it's not like you're doing a whole huge.
It's like a miniature band sampler. It's basically what you're doing.
Yeah. And I've stitched a lot of theirs. I really do. You know that we've talked about that. I really do love their stuff. So I thought, a spring one, and I do put those. Like I have a tiny little tier tray now. It's just got 2 tiers for my coffee table. I don't have a big one because it would block the view of the TV. But like I put my little bees biscornu that I did that was kind of wonky when I finished it. I stuck it in there with some silk little tiny picks, and if I had a needle roll that was spring, I would put it in there. But I have a Thanksgiving one. I do have a regular gardening one. I
Yeah.
could put that in there. It's up on the shelf that sits behind me on the couch. But anyway, I've done a lot of those, and I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have a little spring one.
Yeah.
So, I think I have a winter one kit that I haven't done.
Yeah. Probably.
I probably do. So yeah, other than that, I don't really, just gonna keep spinning my wheel and doing my Rosewood Manors. I need to do my Whipco, which is my hoity toity and year at Hawk Run Hollow. Oh, I need to start my second shepherd's bush ornament that I was doing, because I'm doing 6 of those ornaments.
Right.
So
Yeah, I was thinking about that for you.
uh-huh.
I need to work. I have not worked on my Whipco pieces at all. So I need to pull out Spring at Hawk Run Hollow or Snow Queen, but I think I'm going to do Spring at Hawk Run Hollow this week and try to get, I think I needed to do, I was shooting for 3 hours. I can't remember now, 3 or 4 hours on each, which I can do that. So I'll probably just do one of those this week and then one of those the next week. And then I have probably, I was going to try to do 8 hours on that cottage garden samplings month, and I've probably done 4.
Okay, well, you're getting there.
I don't know how much time I don't know how much I have. And for some reason, I misplaced my magazine monthly planning page. It's downstairs. Maybe it fell under the couch or something. I just need to find it. What are the other ones on there? The shepherd's bush needle roll was my kind of theme piece for the month.
Right.
I started that. I need to work on that a little bit more. And I think I put both of those Whipco pieces on that. So I'll do, I'll focus.
Oh, you'll get to it. Yeah.
Kind of and I've been trying to do my Hade at least a few times a week and just get at least 100 stitches each time.
Yeah. I've kind of been
but
kind of in my mental capacity brain have kind of lost my word, reserving my Quakers, my Whipcos, and that little Christmas ornament. Not so much Christmas ornament, but the Whipco and the Quakers for my weekend. Like, I feel like I have more time to stitch on the weekends, and so I feel like I put those off and work on smaller things, because I do bounce around in the evening. I might work on 2 or 3 things. Sometimes I get stuck on one that I don't want to give up, but I try to work on a couple of things each evening.
Yeah.
But those are bigger pieces that if I pull them out, I want to have a good concentrated time. And I'm only doing 2 hours for my Whipco pieces, because I was gentle on myself this year.
Yeah, and I bumped myself up from the 2 hours.
Well, and I got the Quakers that I'm doing 2 hours on too. So it's almost like I'm doing 3 Whipco pulls a month.
Yeah, basically. I think I only have a half hour left on that little rabbit. So I'll probably try to do another half hour on that this week. And then that will check off that goal.
I have to show you though, I did get my cross stick in my planner. I love this planner.
I should have taped mine in, because now I'm missing mine.
I tape mine in every month now. See,
I
learned from you. I fold it up. Whoopsie.
Yeah.
I make it fit. So it's all in there.
I know. I always do that, and I didn't.
And my whip goes at the front. But I tell you, I'll just do a plug. Katie Daisy is my favorite planner designer.
I have hers too. This is what I've been.
I have her small one, that one, for my everyday stuff. But this is my stitching one, and I like it.
I pretty much just use this for notes for Flosstube.
Everything.
Yeah, for Flosstube, and then I usually tape my plans in there. But
only thing I wish she had done a more wintry, Christmassy one for Christmas.
Well, yeah, I was looking at June too. June, you would think that this would be February. Like these really hearts and.
Oh, for that one, yeah. This is June in the bigger one though. Look at this.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, here's her June.
Yeah, for smaller one, I feel like
this. Why was this not for February? Because February was.
Yeah, you're right.
Doesn't that look more like June? Strawberries and.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that.
You should have put the hearts in February and the.
Hey, let us help you.
Katie Daisy. You're probably not even a real person.
Wait, which one are you using? Are you doing this one? Is this the year you have?
Yeah, this one. What?
What's your February?
This. Is that not what your February is?
Is that your very first page of February?
Well, it's
Oh,
February
wait.
1st. I mean, the
Oh,
month.
here we go.
Yeah.
No, this is my February.
What? Yeah, that's what I have. And I was saying this should be June. And all the hearts.
Oh, the hearts are in
Look at your
December?
June one. Yeah.
Oh, June. Oh, June. I was thinking February.
This is the
Oh, yeah.
June.
Yeah, you're right. What the heck? Come on, Katie.
Come on, pull it together.
Oh, we love you, but this is
I know. And the December one is all very floral. Why is that?
yeah, in both of them. Yeah, and butterflies and bleeding hearts.
But like the May one, you'd think, where is that? May is like, where is it? Oh, April is cute. It's all these sea creatures. May is like gems and very like crystally. Why would you not put that in December? That piece is like a little bit more wintry looking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having some questions here. Why this is not your December plan, and
Katie, if you watch us.
and this isn't your May. Like, why would this be December and not May? I don't know. Somebody's making a decision. They're probably like
August. Oh, August is going to the woods. It's going home. It's all woodsy and camping.
oh, that's cute. Well, I'm not going to complain because I really do love this planner.
I know, but I do think she could get a little more seasonal. She's a beautiful artist.
I know I do love
Look at September.
Maybe I should try. Oh, I should have brought up the art I copied. Oh, that's pretty.
Anyway,
I got watercolors for Christmas from Rosie and my own watercolor paper. So what I decided is I follow this gal, this artist that I really love her art. I'll put a link to her website probably. Her name is Lorraine Pemberton, and she does all these. Let's just show it really quick.
is that how you get your calendar from every year?
No, that's that's Grace Laced. This is, no, I don't know if she has a calendar. I should look. Because her art is very like this. This is one of her recent.
Oh, cute.
So I thought, I'm not very artistic. Oh, I love this one too. Look at this. I don't know if you can see. There's a little girl.
Oh, looking out the window.
Looking out the window with her candle.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's hard to see because my light is shining on it. I love her art. So since I'm not particularly artistic on my own, I feel like I'm at a very early stage of art development. I decided to try and copy some of hers. Like I can sketch it pretty accurately with a little practice and then fill it in with the watercolor. So next week, maybe I'll bring it and show you what I did.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm proud of it. It's really cute. It turned out really cute. And I can't
put away from the girls. So they don't spill anything on it.
I know. My first one, they spilled and ruined my first version. So I just did a new, like I took another one of hers. And
she was at my house when Carrie had his surgery. She gets a call. Mom, we're really sorry. We're really sorry.
I know. Like, my first one I did the same thing with one of her paintings. I just took a tiny portion of it and I just replicated it in my sketchbook and painted it. And then I left it on the counter and they dumped water all over it. I was like, it's okay. It's not that big a deal. But I did a new one this week of a little girl. She's sitting on like a window seat with a quilt all around, like kind of around her, and she's reading, and it's really cute. I'll show you next week.
She's on Instagram?
She is. It's Lorraine, Lore, Pemberton.
Maybe I should follow her.
Oh, yeah. She's got like a new baby. She has like 2 or 3 little girls, probably about my girls' age or a little younger. And even her photos are all like this beautiful idyllic. Her girls are always in these like woolens and adorable things. Anyway, I like following her. It doesn't look like my real life at all, but it's.
My Instagram's being really weird the last couple of days. When I go to do a search, it tells me something went wrong.
Oh, what?
Please try again. Yeah, it was doing it to me yesterday too, but I got good Wi-Fi, so I'll have to look her up later.
Yeah, I'll put a link to her website because you can order prints and stuff from her.
Oh, fun.
Kind of just does it as a job, like I think actually her husband no longer works outside the home. He helps manage her shop. That's his like.
Wow.
Anyway, it's really, yeah, I love following her stuff. I don't even know where I first.
Okay, I was going to try to search again. By the way, you should look at Skylar. So there's a ballerina that we follow called Skylar Brandt. She posted an hour ago a picture of her feet.
Are they damaged looking? I hate it when ballerinas post pictures of their painful feet.
Yeah, like her second toe looks really deformed.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it's a little startling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why are you doing that?
Well, we had a giveaway last week, but nobody entered. So what we were talking about was we were going to maybe just do a little Instagram giveaway with that same thing and see if
Yeah,
anybody in the wider
but we do
population.
have.
We have a new one.
Yeah, we have past the stash kind of one. I think this might be the one you did. Sarah stitched this one,
I did stitch it, and I was just
which I think somebody sent to us originally, and then you stitched it. It might have come from Julie Dixon, I think. Maybe.
I don't
No.
know if it was from Julie, but it might have been.
Well, it's a shepherd's bush.
It's a shepherd's bush. It's the theme of the day. It's bulb, and I do have this stitched. I did it on an Ada that I had in my stash, and I need to just finish it this week.
It's super cute.
Time. Yeah.
It says blossom and bud.
Bulb, blossom, and bud.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think we should
You have to get your own. You'd have to get your own buttons.
And I'm not even sure I put any buttons on mine. I might have just stitched it and left it. I can't remember. Oh, maybe I did add a couple buttons for the flowers. I don't know.
What does it say? Stitch your button. Doesn't say which buttons. But if you really wanted their buttons, if you call their shop, they probably still have them. If they're still,
yeah,
just flowers and a little butterfly, you could also get them online.
It was really fast to stitch, really. Like it was easy and so cute.
It's cute. So if you want to win this, I was thinking we should just use the word spring.
Oh, spring. Okay, not bulb. Spring.
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 Let's just use spring.
Okay.
Since everybody but me is looking forward to spring.
Spring. Use the word spring if you want to win that. And
Spring.
What are you reading? Have you finished Miss Millie?
I am like, okay, so I started doing your method where you do so many percentage of, so I've been doing that. One night I fell asleep. I'm at the very end. I tried so hard, but I know that I'm like within a couple of percents of being done. Like the climax has already happened. We're just coming down now. So I just have probably a couple more pages, to be honest. But yeah, it's sweet. And I think, I think the girls would like it, the older girls.
Yeah.
It does deal with, not in a bad way, but it does shed light on racism in the past, especially in the 60s, because I think it takes place in the 60s. But
yeah.
But it's not like hitting over the head with it. It's just, it's a gentle.
It wouldn't be inappropriate. We've watched what's the one about the women in NASA?
Hidden Figures.
Loved that movie. Like I think they loved seeing people.
So they have a base knowledge now, so they would understand.
Yeah, they do.
But it also a lot of the storyline is dealing with Alice, the main girl. Her name is Alice, and she's just turning 11. The end of the book, but dealing with her dad leaving the family and what that has meant, but that most of the main body of the book is she's trying to find a way to try to get her dad to come back and fall in love with the family and live where they're living. And they've got a grandma with dementia that they're living with, so she's got a lot of changes in her life, and she's really missing her dad. But at the very end, she really realizes that her dad's not coming back, and doesn't call her on her birthday, but yet she's happy. She's found happiness with where she's at. She's made a couple of friends. The gloom and doom of life at the beginning of the book has blossomed into, I'm going to be okay here. Life is hard, but Miss Millie, the black lady neighbor, really helped her kind of look at the world through different eyes and basically, accept the things you can't change and embrace the things that you can. And it's good. It is good. And I should have had this done months ago. It's just a young adult book, but I did buy myself, because I do have some actual books that I want to read, but I only read in bed. But I bought a book light.
Oh,
because I don't want to rebuy these books on my Kindle.
Yeah. Right.
And so I looked online. I haven't had a book light for a long time. It's very little. It's rechargeable, which is nice.
That's nice.
And it's just got a little. So I've got a couple books on my nightstand that I want to start, but I wanted to finish this. So I'm really close.
Nice.
Really close. But I kind of gave you my review on that now.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a read for the girls. What are
Walking
you reading?
Really, right?
Still reading your crazy.
I'm really close also. I just have this little bit left.
Uh-huh.
This is number 4 of a series, and we have been watching the show, and it follows the books pretty well. Actually, the first season of the show is all that's out, Lockwood and Co. And the first season covers books 1 and 2. So I'm interested to see if season 2 would cover.
Look, it's already charged.
So I'm on book 4. So I don't know if the next season will cover.
Look.
3 and 4 or not.
It's
what?
Brighter.
You can adjust the brightness of it. That's not surprising.
I haven't had a book light for a long time.
Those of us who have had book lights.
The old ones didn't used to do that.
I've been reading 20 pages in this a day.
I wonder if Dad and I should watch that show. I wonder if we'd like it.
It's fun. It's definitely I read one review, I was looking up something and somebody kind of indicated they felt like it was like a teeny bopper show. And I do not think so. I think it's better than that. It's not yeah. I mean, I've obviously invested enough time into reading these books and I'm still enjoying them. Yeah, let's see. I have 50 pages left. So and I was reading a little extra today since we were just at home with the sick girls. So I might finish.
And I wasn't very clear. When I talked about how I was doing Miss Millie, Sarah and I were talking last week about how with our Kindle, you don't really get pages, you get locations and percentage. And so she would look at, okay, this 100%, this book's at 100%, how much do I have to read a day?
To get it done by a certain, I kind of give myself a deadline. That helps. Yeah. So if I have a library book, it's really easy deadline because I'm like, well, I want to have it done before it goes back, or if I need to recheck it, I will. But if I can get it done before it has to go back, which is what I did with this. So I took the 430 pages, and I divided it into the 28 days or whatever. And then I figured out I needed to read 20 pages a day to get it done.
And I feel like that's a difference for me because when I read a physical book, I am oftentimes looking at how far I've read, how far I've got to go. You literally, you look at,
I read 40 pages a day because I'm like, ooh, I'm good. It's good. I'm at the climax.
Or I'll go, oh, look, I'm so close. I can finish that. But with a Kindle, you just don't have that physical connection to the book. I also used to read ahead.
Yeah.
I used to sometimes skim ahead, and I miss doing that on a Kindle.
Yeah, you can't really do that.
I wouldn't read the ending necessarily, but I would kind of
skip ahead some, which I don't really ever do, but it's fine. Oh, so what I do when I'm reading an ebook is I look at the percentage and I think, okay, I need to read this many percentage to have it this, so if I want to read it all in 30 days, then I need to read about, I don't know, so much percentage a day to get done with this book.
Yeah.
And what I have found is sometimes the other thing with the Kindle is you can't really gauge how much of that is a day. So sometimes I've gotten into the trap where it's a longer book than I really realize because it's just, I don't have it in my hand. I can't see this is a really big book. So if I find that I've made a bad estimate, then I just adjust it. I'll cut it in half. If I'm there's no way I can read 6% of this book a day.
Yeah.
It's way too long, then I'll cut it down to 3 or whatever.
Yeah. You're right. Because also, the font, right? Because on a Kindle, I adjust my font.
Yeah.
To be way bigger.
Right.
Than a regular book sometimes can be.
Right. But the percentage is still going to be the same. But you can't necessarily gauge how much of a percentage.
Yeah. My husband was packing up, going through the closet and going through some stuff and getting rid of some things. And he has this Brandon Sanderson books. He's very much into fantasy. Oh, good fantasy, not just and so Brandon Sanderson and Robert Jordan, Wheel of Time, loved those books. And he has most of them in hardback. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm going to give those away. I'm like, why? He goes, I'll never read these again in this version because he reads on his tablet all the time. First of all, he won't do this. Mm-hmm. So if a book, don't even bother giving him a paperback because he'll very rarely read a paperback. Look, the mass market, small print. But then he decided to keep the Robert Jordans and he decided to keep the Brandon Sandersons. I said, honey, our hope is that you'll have kind of a little office area or a bedroom that we can set your computer up in.
Those, yeah.
Huh?
I reread those if he gets good glasses.
I know. And you might have a bookcase and put some books on it so we don't look like we're illiterate. Because I'm keeping all my Maid Binchies and all my Rosamund Pilchers, and I will go back and reread those. And they're hardback, so they're bigger print.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read very many of those. I need to read some more of those.
Those are my favorite authors of all time, modern authors. But I was like, you can't get rid of all those. It's like getting rid of, I gave you all those Harry Potter, or not the Harry Potters, but the Redwell books, it just seems wrong to just give those away to just nobody that you know.
Yeah. When they're like,
we were a family that gave lots and lots of books for gifts.
Yeah. Yeah, we are too. Mm-hmm. I'm also reading David Copperfield.
Still.
I'll be reading David Copperfield till August if my projections are correct. I'm just reading 6 pages a day. So that's like how I calculate it. I want to finish this before the next school year.
Are you reading that for school? Not because you just had a burning urge to read David Copperfield?
Well, I'm doing a reading challenge. So the reading challenge I'm doing included a category of a Charles Dickens book. And David Copperfield is on one of the reading lists for the girls. And I thought, that's one I've never read. I do really like Dickens. I really enjoyed Oliver Twist. I've read that one a few times with the girls. I'll read it one more with Rosie when she's a little bit older. And I love Christmas Carol, but I hadn't really read. Oh, and I read Tale of Two Cities a long time ago. But a lot of people talk about Copperfield as kind of his master work. Like people love that one. So, and it is really good.
Is it?
Yeah. It's first person. I'm still in this boy's childhood, David Copperfield's childhood,
I think the only Dickens I ever want to read is Christmas Carol.
Yeah. No, I really like him. Jessie doesn't really like Dickens, but I do. So, yeah, I'll enjoy it.
I feel like maybe I read Oliver Twist when I was a kid.
No. Not watch the next Marvel movie without me. I'll be done recording in a few minutes, and then we can watch the next Marvel movie.
Can wait 10 minutes.
So yeah, partly for school, partly for my own self-education, and partly for the reading challenge. And it's one I've wanted to read because I've heard really good things about it. But I always have that going with something else. Like I usually have like 3 or 4 books that I haven't even said I'm reading here.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 on my nightstand that I have a goal every night to read.
Okay.
I think the next book I'm going to read after I finish this one is a book I gave Liddy for Christmas called The School for Whatnots. So I'll keep you posted on what she said. That was really good. It surprised her. It had kind of like twists and turns, and she didn't see them.
Oh, cute.
I said I'll start it in this next week.
Yeah, I have so many books. I have so many physical. There's several books that I have asked for Christmas and that I've gotten.
Yeah.
That are in my bedroom that aren't packed away. I gave away a lot of books a while ago because I knew that I wasn't probably going to read them or that I had already read them, and I just used to keep all my books. And I thought, why? So I've slowly over the years gotten rid of the ones that I like. Okay, I liked it. Okay, but am I really going to reread this? Probably not. Mm-hmm. But I would read. But then I've got some newer ones that I haven't read and I do want to read.
Right.
And they're in my wardrobe, shoved in there. Not enough time, you guys. There's not enough time.
Yeah. There will never be enough time to read all the books. You just have to choose the one.
Yeah, I gotta have time to knit. I gotta have time to cross stitch. I gotta have time to read. I'm sorry, Carrie. You know, cook your own dinner every night.
It could be
last night.
Retirement project.
I know. I was supposed to make a shrimp dish for dinner, but I wasn't really feeling it. I was tired. I just finished decorating everything. And I thought, I'm having grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's what we had.
I should probably go figure out what I'm making for dinner tonight.
Yeah, and get your next Marvel movie going.
Yeah, the girls are excited to watch the next one, so we'll go do that.
What is the next one?
I think it might be the second Thor movie.
Okay.
I don't remember that one.
You know, we watched those during 2020. I wonder if we should watch those again.
Yeah,
Dad's probably seen them way more than I have.
but not with the girls. So now they're
Yeah.
old enough. We felt like we could watch them.
I hadn't seen a lot of them.
Yeah, I
Dad
had.
and Dad and the boys had watched them all. I had seen some intermittently, but
There's
like
definitely ones that are better than others that
right.
I could probably skip if I were going to watch them all again myself. But since we're
Yeah.
watching them with the girls, we'll just watch every single one.
Oh yeah. And I had like seen Iron Man, and I loved Iron Man, and I had seen Captain America, and I loved those ones. And I'd never seen Guardians of the Galaxies, and I had never seen the Thor ones.
That's Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite. I feel like I'm just kind of treading water till we get there. Although I really enjoyed Iron Man even more this time around. I think because I kind of know where those characters are going. You know, like watching it a second time is really interesting. I find myself crying at things I wouldn't have cried at the first time, or like laughing at things that I wouldn't have laughed at the first time, because I know like later down the road, those things are gonna.
Yeah.
And the girls are like, why are you reacting that way? I'm like, you'll just see. Just don't worry about it. But I do love Guardians of the Galaxy, and I love actually the first Marvel movie that I actually really liked that I ever saw was that Thor Ragnarok one. And then I think I watched Guardians of the Galaxy maybe after that. And I was
those
like,
are more lighthearted.
those are funny. And so then I loved the characters, and I started to get invested, and then I was willing to watch more.
The Thor movies and the Guardians are definitely the more lighthearted versions, I feel like.
Yeah, they're just, there's a funniness to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of it,
I do love the Black Panther franchise. Like, I really love the Wakanda ones. Yeah, I really like a lot of them.
And see, is there only one official Marvel Wakanda? The one that they made?
Black Panther, and then there's Wakanda Forever. They're both.
Do they both have that same actor in them, or did they make one without him after he died?
Yeah, he died, and that's the new one that just came out.
I think Dad's seen that one, but I don't think I have.
That's a good one.
I loved the first one that he was in, and it was just on TV not too long ago, and I think we caught it midway through and just ended up watching the rest of it one night.
Yeah, you should watch the new. It was really good. I cried a lot during that one because they're dealing with his death, so it's not a lighthearted. It's not lighthearted at all.
No, maybe,
but it's really good.
I wonder if I heard him watching that one. I don't know, but it's really I do like, I do like that whole franchise a lot.
Yeah,
I do like the Marvel franchise, and I'm trying to think if there was one I didn't really care for, and there was one.
Yeah, well, like I feel like this Thor one the first Thor one I didn't really care that much for. The second one I feel like is okay. The Ragnarok one is the one that I feel like is the best. And
what's the one with Captain Marvel, the girl?
The girl, yeah, that one.
I don't think I liked that one as much.
I think I liked that one okay, but it wasn't like my favorite. Anyway,
and Black Widow.
I like it more the second time around.
Yeah, and I might like it better the second time around too, knowing more
the story and people.
Yeah, because when we watched those together, he'd already seen Endgame and all those, but I hadn't, which is why we watched them all so that I could get the whole feel for those last two.
Yeah, I think that is helpful.
Yeah.
You could also watch the Disney. Did you watch Loki? Because he's my like heartthrob. Tom Hiddleston. I love him. I think he is so. I just
saw him in something else, and I was like, "That's him." What was I watching?
Manager?
Huh?
The Night Manager?
No, I saw him in that, but there was something else.
I love him. I think he's so cute.
That's so funny.
He's like so greasy as Loki. You're not really supposed to like. I just love it.
Respawn Loki.
Anyway, I do love him.
Yeah.
Celebrity.
I don't think we watched. Dad might have watched all the Lokis. That was a series, right? They came out with a series. Is he in all of them?
Yeah, it's all about him. That's his show.
There's a whole bunch that they did that with. Didn't they come out with one for
Yeah, there's several, and I don't think we've watched all of them.
The Arrow guy, the guy that got hurt, Jeremy Renner, his character.
I don't think we've watched his either.
We watched his. I remember watching his.
Oh, maybe we did watch it. I can't remember.
Did Black Widow have one too?
They just made a movie of her, and we haven't watched it.
That's right. She got mad. She sued them and all that, and they kind of. Well, they made her movie Black Widow, I think around 2020 or right before 20, and they released it to pay-per-view. Like they didn't release it in the theaters. It went right to rental, like you could rent it on, but like you rented it for the price that you could buy it, basically. And she was mad that it didn't get released I think that's what it was. She got mad that they didn't release it in the theaters, but it also was during that time that I think the theaters were trying to figure out what they were going to do with themselves.
Yeah.
That's my memory anyway. I could be totally wrong on that, but I think that had a part to play in it. But I think they ended their like agreement with her over it.
Oh, interesting. I didn't hear that.
I think I could be wrong. Maybe she ended it. I don't know. It's not like she doesn't have enough money.
Oh yeah, she's quite successful.
Quite successful.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay,
thanks for watching.
Have a happy week. Be kind to each other. It's a crazy world out there.
Yep.
And
happy or not. No, you don't have to be happy all the time.
No, but enjoy your stitching. How's that? I hope your stitching brings you joy and calm and peace.